officially.
This is full Christmas Day vibes.
Absolutely.
It's like, you work on something for so long, and there's something about that anticipation before it comes out, just like going, what are they going to think of it? What are they going to, like every choice that I make, which I tend to get pretty detail oriented when it comes to like hinting and Easter eggs and kind of. Yeah. Yeah. So when I'm planning these things, the whole time I'm doing it, I'm like rubbing my hands together, like I think they're gonna be excited.
You know what?
I didn't mean to go into gremlin voice.
No, well, you did. We can't erase your life.
Yeah, I know.
Now look, I finally understood what that's like. I wrote a book. It's coming out October 1st, whatever.
Yeah.
But when people started coming up to saying they'd read it already, it made me stop and go, yes, no, did you like it? Did you hate it? And this must be the same thing you feel every time an album comes out. It must be just, oh God, did you really hear it?
No, I get excited when people hear it. Please hear it. Please listen to it. Anyone listening to this, just go listen to it. It's something I'm really proud of. It's a different feeling though, because it's almost like you've got this like secret that you're really proud of and you're stoked about it. I feel that way about music videos because, I'm stoked about the music videos for this album, and especially like the Lover music video, the Calm Down music video. Having co-directed those and really been so hands-on about the videos, I feel like that when it comes out then. It's cute now because people make like reaction videos.
Right.
I love that
Isn't that
stuff.
funny?
Yes. We live in an amazing time. Like where I always used to wonder what's it like for people to watch this, and now people literally film themselves watching it.
We watch them watching it.
I'm like, are you just doing this for me? Because I love this.
Well, let's talk about the album. I mean, it's been out since it came out at midnight. Is that when it came out? So a lot of the world has heard it. We're talking about 18 songs, and we've already heard 4 or 5. How many have we heard already? They've already been released.
Heard Me, You Need to Calm Down, The Archer, and Lover.
There's 4. And then there you go. Now they're all out.
Yeah.
May I go ahead and say, don't get mad. I'm going to tell you my favorite song on the album. There's a lot of great stories about a lot of the songs.
This won't make me mad.
The Man is the best song ever. And it's definitely a headphone song. It's produced so beautifully.
Thank
to
you.
hear those words, but you got to have headphones on because there's just something sonically about it that's so great.
You can listen to it however you want.
Well, we're going to play that in a few minutes.
Ooh, thanks.
And okay, let's go down the list with Taylor. She was on GMA yesterday.
Yeah.
We've got Cats on the way. Do you not like dogs? Because I don't see you with dogs. It's always with cats.
I do like dogs. You know what I mean? Like, who doesn't like dogs?
I'm not feeling
You know what I mean? Like, what would that say about me? I'm just saying that I think cats are just like magical creatures. Like, and so I have 3 of them. It's now turned into a pack. When you have 3,
Yeah.
that's a pack of animals. And so watching the pack dynamics is something that delights me on a daily basis.
Do you feel like I do? I have 2 cats, and I feel like they're always in cahoots with each other. Like one will say, "You go tell her we're hungry. I'll sit here and wait," and they'll come up to me and smack my face.
Yeah, there's a lot of click mentality too, because the Benjamin is my new cat, and he's phenomenal. But he's a lot. You know what I mean? He wants to pounce on cats. He wants to play. He wants to chase cats. And so he's got a new best friend every couple days. It's Meredith or it's Olivia. It's a lot, I have a whole ecosystem of cats.
By the way, it's funny you brought this up because Gandhi and I were talking about a story that broke yesterday. It says that just because you have a lot of cats and you're a cat lady doesn't mean you're emotionally unstable.
Right.
And so a lot of cat people are like vindicated.
Who would ever imply that? I didn't even know that was a thing that people
not
could
at
say.
all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
That is so ridiculous
Did
that
you
I
go
would
home
discount it.
dressed as a cat and freak your cats out?
They know that I'm not a cat.
Okay.
They
Let's clear that up.
they
All
know
right,
it.
So back to the
On some level, I know it too.
At some level. By the way, Taylor actually had to go to cat school to learn how to do cats. And when you did cats, when you're on camera, it's not lip syncing. You are singing live to camera, which is sort of unusual in a musical movie.
It is, and it's amazing because I had just come off tour, so my performance endurance was like way up still. So I was, you do full takes of these songs, live singing every single time. That they don't yell cut in the middle of it. You're running these numbers over and over again with full choreography, in your cat suit, and it was a blast. Like I would not trade that experience for anything.
And let's hear it for clumping formula cat litter. I mean, that stuff is.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I wish I invented that.
Really innovative.
Speaking of your tour, what a tour! Of course, acknowledged by so many, including iHeartRadio, as being the tour of the year. And when if you didn't see Taylor on tour, I mean, going to see your show was like going to Epcot. I mean, you guys really, I mean, I'm not saying it's a lot, but it's a lot. You had water blowing everywhere and stages everywhere.
Epcot.
But even, well,
I love Epcot.
well, Epcot is nothing compared to you in a stadium, and you engineered your tour, your show in a way where you covered the entire stadium where no one had a bad seat.
Thank you. That was actually a huge priority for me on tour because, I used to go to concerts all the time and I'd be so far away. And every choice that I make with the tour, it's always based on what my experience was as a fan. I always wanted bigger screens so that I could see the face of the performer.
And your screens were massive.
Yeah, massive screens. There's always close-ups. I want to be able to emotionally see what this person's going through, and I wanted to be closer to the performers. And so, there's no way to guarantee everyone a front row seat in a stadium. But we did the closest we possibly can by moving the stage and moving me and having me fly over them.
Just flying around. The only thing, may I just suggest, a bar in the middle would be great. Because Daddy likes a shot of tequila in the middle of his Taylor Swift.
It's too far for you to walk to the actual bar?
I don't want to miss a song. I paid a lot of money for that
We
seat.
should get you your own chariot lift that just floats you.
No, that's called being a drunk, if I may do that. All right, so, okay, back to the album. We got lots to cover here. Of course, the album, Taylor Swift's Lover, came out last night. And, of course, Lover we're playing. You have a song in there called Cornelia Street, which here in the Village in New York City is one of my favorite streets. One of my favorite restaurants, which closed down, used to be there. We were on Cornelia Street every week.
Good street.
But to write a song about a street, obviously not about a street. Obviously, it's about
the things that took place, the memories that were made on that street.
Right.
I rented an apartment there and just wanted to write a song about all the nostalgia of, sometimes in our lives we assign, we kind of bond our memories to the places where those memories happened. It's just something we do if we romanticize life, which I tend to do. And so I wrote this song about going back over the memories of things that happened in this particular place. And it ended up being one of my favorite songs. I wrote this one alone. Sometimes when I love to co-write and I love to collaborate, but sometimes when I'm writing a song, I cannot stop myself from finishing it. Like typically what I'll do is I'll come up with an idea, I'll get halfway through the song, I'll stop myself and bring it to a collaborator, a producer, co-writer, and be like, hey, what do you think about where we should go with this now? But with this song, I just had to write the whole thing. It just wrote it all.
With Taylor, it's Cornelia Street. What's your street? Like, what street can you go?
Yeah.
Or what? With me, it's a bar. It's Walker's Bar over the corner of Northmore and Farragut.
It's a good bar.
I know, but all the stuff that happened in my life that was life-changing, there. And let's talk about collaboration, because it's one thing to collaborate with, oh my gosh, with Jack Antonoff.
Yeah.
Who's a genius.
Yep.
He was just great. And he talks about how fun it was to work with you on this album. And he was very clear to give you, okay, Taylor did this much, I did this much. He held like an inch up for him and 3 feet for you. So I'm sure you would say the opposite. No, he did a lot of work.
Well, he's one of the most amazing people to create with because of his versatility. And sort of just the way that he produced and wrote Look What You Made Me Do with me.
Right.
And then we made the song Lover, which sounds nothing like that. It's worlds away. So I just love how he's able to just kind of experiment and change, and he's never stuck in a box. He's in terms of a collaborator, he's very yes and. Like a good improv or a good conversation, the person's always saying, yes, and they take your idea, they like it, and they move on and add something to it. You can get vibes in the studio where you feel like your ideas are being shot down, so you don't give as many. But with Jack, it's just he is so excited by music that it makes you just want to keep thinking of things and keep putting out ideas.
Very open-minded guy. And he did not get upset when I propositioned his father when he was here.
He was his father liked it.
I was all into his dad.
His dad's a great guy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It turned nasty.
How was Brendan Urie to work with?
Brendan, I cannot say enough glowing things about Brendan.
Isn't he fabulous?
I want Brendan to just be the leader of a beautiful new world we all live in.
Oh.
Like, he's just like such a wonderful person, such a powerful performer, so generous to his fans, he's generous to his friends. He's just like this ball of energy, and like I've learned so much from him, and he's one of my favorite lyricists. Like,
He's tremendous.
always has been.
With everything he says, everything he sings, I see color.
Yeah.
I see color. It's just bright,
Oh, yeah.
festive color with a little confetti blowing
And
out.
he's nice to look at. So
Yeah, not
He
bad.
literally like is, I cannot speak more highly about a human being. Like, we'd be on the video set and he just was giving like 113% every single take. Every single thing he was doing, the same, he just elevates situations he's in. He and his wife are like, have become my friends. I'm obsessed with them. I just think that I cannot say enough.
Let's be more like Brendan
Yeah.
Urie then.
Everyone just be more like Brendan.
So this album is coming out. You've written all these songs. They're your babies, right? Like
Yeah.
you feel very protective of them, like Elvis in his book. Do you have a favorite baby?
You know you want to
It's
answer
different.
this.
I know,
No, but
everyone
it's
has a
different on
favorite kid.
every day.
Okay,
It's different on every day.
Okay, let me just be presumptuous and answer the question.
Oh,
Death by 1,000 Cuts.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
I'm telling you, the story behind this will give you goosebumps. I'm sorry, I'm not speaking
I want to hear the
on the
story.
microphone. The
So
story,
the story behind
Tell
the
the
song.
story.
Basically, oftentimes I'll write songs about my own life, but there's always flickers of other people's work that influenced me in some way. Like, I think that when people make art, other people make art. And I think that, you know, especially women who make art, I find it highly inspiring just based on how well they told a story. And there's just something that you get from watching a good story take place. I watched this movie on Netflix called Someone Great. It's this amazing, like, well done romantic comedy with a heart and like just depth to it, because it's about this relationship that ends after like 8 or 9 years. And, you know, I read the synopsis of the movie and it's like, girl goes through breakup and like goes on a trip with her girlfriends. And I think that I'm reading this and I'm like, the movie's going to be like, get over him, girl. He's a jerk. Let's take shots. And I was like, I'm down. Like, let's watch this movie. And then you turn it on and it's this gut punch, because it actually isn't that at all. It's a movie about how she, you know, has to end this relationship that she didn't want to end because she's still in love with the person, but they just grew apart. And he's not a jerk.
there was
He's-
no scandal.
it's just sad.
Wow.
Because it's just realistic. It's just, yeah, time passed and now we're different people. And that is the most devastating thing, because it's not salacious and it's deeply, deeply upsetting.
Yeah.
And so I cried watching the movie. And so for like about a week, I start waking up from dreams that I'm living out that scenario, that's happening to me. And I just will wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm writing a breakup song. Like, I'd have these lyrics in my head based on the dynamics of these characters. And I went into the studio with Jack and I was like, I've got these lyrics that I've written for this song called Death by 1,000 Cuts. So I write this song. We do this song in the studio, and fast forward a couple months later, and I'm doing the Ellen show, which I love doing. And I'm talking to her, and she asks me what movies I've seen recently, and I said Someone Great. I get this email a couple days later from this woman named Jen Robinson, and she's like, hey, I just wanted to say thank you for mentioning my movie. I wrote and directed that film. It was about my own breakup, my own life. She's like, I just wanted to tell you that while I was moving across the country, the album I had on repeat was 1989, and specifically a song of yours called Clean. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I just wrote a song based on something she made, which she made while listening to something I made, which is the most meta thing that's
amazing.
ever happened to me.
Whoa.
So each of you need producer's credit for the other person's
there you
work.
go.
Yeah.
See, this is just one of these weird stories. I mean, there's a collaboration there without knowing it, you know? And there was just a slight chance. There was a major chance she never, ever would have heard that you wrote that song based on that movie, and you never
If I
would have
hadn't
connected.
said in an interview that I'd seen the movie,
Isn't that
like,
great?
I wouldn't have ever been presumptuous enough to think that that would mean anything to her. you know?
Wow, but look, it's a fun song. It sounds fun. It's a fun tempo. At
It's
the
a
same
sad
time.
bop.
It's a sad bop. It is. But you talk about love, and you're saying having a breakup song on my Lover album, but breaking up is a part of love. It's just it's a part of the big thing, and
It's an important
it
part
has
of
a
the
place.
story to tell. It definitely has a place, and that's when I started to really reimagine the scope of this album. That it's not just about flowers and sunshine, because that's not it at all. That's what the movies tell us it is, like when we're watching cartoons as a kid. But this is a wide-ranging emotional spectrum that's on this album, and that's why I love it so much.
Look at everything Taylor's up to. I mean, collaborating with Stella McCartney on this incredible line. I used one of your rainbow cards the other day as a happy wedding card for a friend of mine.
Amazing.
I know. I'm like, when does this girl sleep? Gotta run. We're coming right back. I think the most powerful song on the album is... I'll tell you in a second. Hold on. Hey, look who didn't run away. Taylor Swift. Let's talk about something that, I don't know, it's kind of weird to us because we don't want to think it exists. It's the music business. I know you've been in the news a lot talking about re-recording your songs because now someone else owns them. I got to see, I'm in the music business. I don't even understand it. I don't want to understand it. All I know is the songs that you are famous for, I will always consider those your songs.
Thank you.
Always. No
Thank
matter
you
who
so
has the
much.
title and deed to the property. I don't understand it, don't need it.
Thank you. Well, it's kind of, I'm glad that this has shown light on it, because it's a sort of insidious part of our business. It's not right.
I don't even want to hear about it, but
You don't have to hear about it.
good, but I want to do part 2. Lover, your album, this is yours.
It's mine.
Yeah, you own this.
She's mine.
It's all
Fully
yours.
mine.
Like, if it sinks or swims, it's all you, baby.
Yeah.
It's good. It's swimming so far, so we're good.
I'm happy to take full ownership of this album.
And so from a business point of view, I mean, that must really hit your heart, as it seems like, as you were saying, it's yours. It must hit your heart.
Well, it's not
No
just
wonderful
from a
way.
business perspective. It's like your heart belongs in that art that you made. And the person who bought my art, he's never made any art in his life, so he doesn't know what it's like. That he could never understand that personal connection when you make something,
Right.
And then someone buys it out from under you. That's just, I don't think that a lot of people understand that that's how our business works.
It's not good.
They think we own what we make. So I think it's interesting to get that out there, in case there's so many people who want to be musicians, and they need to learn these things, because I didn't know these things when I was a teenager.
Right.
And if I can say something loudly that somehow absorbs in people's consciousness that they need to really stand up for themselves and they need to fight for their right to own their work, it's not going to be given to them. People are going to try to take it from them their whole career, so they need to know what's theirs.
From our side from the fans' point of view, though, someone owning someone else's art is like someone owning the smell of a flower, owning the taste of a peanut butter jelly sandwich. You can't own that. It's yours, but I get it, and we move on. But, so, when you hear Lover, the album, out as of midnight, this
It's
song,
mine.
It's all Taylor. So I got to talk about my favorite song. Let's make this about me.
Yes.
When I first heard The Man, I was like, whoa. There was something in there, and what made it great for me is I couldn't describe what it was I loved about it.
Oh, cool.
But it was sonically fantastic. It just sounds great. Your vocals, how they were mixed in, all the technical stuff that we don't really get. But then you get to the lyrics, and the song The Man, why does it sound so great to me? What is what is so funny? Because I was talking to our friend Tree, who's working with you. She said, yes, she high-fived me. She said, The Man, that's the one.
That's her favorite too.
Yeah.
I mean, I love this song because I've been trying to write this song
All
for
smart
ages.
people love it.
I mean, I think that as a woman, we deal with perception issues. There seems to be specific words used for women and specific words used for men who do the same exact thing.
Oh yeah.
What are some of these words?
Okay, so all right. So a man does something strategic. Woman does the same thing, calculated
Or manipulative.
manipulative.
Yep.
A man stands up for himself. A woman throws a tantrum.
Right.
Right, okay.
I mean, you can go on and on. A man is confident. A woman is smug. And, I think that where we need to continue talking about, gender equality as a whole subject is like, it starts at perception. And it starts at the fact that a man could make a joke and the whole room would laugh, and a woman could make the same joke and they'd be like, oh my God,
Heather, are you okay? Like, do you need to take a break? I mean, that was really dark.
Isn't that weird that's still happening?
Yeah.
Well, I think you're being a little hard-headed about this.
Exactly.
See what I did? See your point. I was merely acting. I was acting like an a-hole man.
Very good.
Anyway, so the lyrics in Demand are truly the headline of the song.
Yeah, I mean, the lyrics of this song are what I've been trying to say for a very long time, which is that, you know, women have to deal with this every day. It's not just me.
Right.
It's something that I think the more we can talk about it, and it's also a fun song. It's not like being hit with a hammer. It's a very fun song, and I think that the more we can, like, be cheeky and talk about, you know, equality and advocating for all that, like, that's what we're trying to do with pop music, is move things forward and get things stuck in people's heads and brainwash them into making the world better.
Brainwashing.
Manipulative. You know me.
Let's talk about the word lover. Okay, so way before your album ever came out, it's really funny. When Gandhi first came here one day, I said, oh, blah, 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 and these two people were making love. And she made this, she's like,
Sorry.
making love.
I can't help it.
No, there's something about making love,
It's an upsetting term. I feel like somebody would be kissing my eyelids, and I don't like that.
it's some mixing issues. And then so one day someone called someone their lover, and she said, lover. Lover, it reminds you of...
Like old-timey, like a 20s flapper with a long cigarette, like, I've taken a lover.
That's exactly how I mean it.
So
Just in case there was any confusion, that is the exact brand.
no, it's not true. So one of the things I'm loving hearing...
It's like a really kind of elegant word for it.
I want you, stay on this. I want you, if anything we do in this interview, other than talk about your great album, is to convince her that the word lover has other meanings that are actually positive. Please do it. Go. Lover.
What she just said is so positive. Are there negative connotations to a flapper with a long cigarette?
Maybe the cigarette part.
Just the cigarette
Well, yeah, like, obviously just put a vape on the end of there. I don't know what's the thing people are doing. Or is that bad now?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Don't do that at all. Just breathe air. Just breathe air.
So lover could mean several things. So when you decided to use the title cut lover as the overarching theme for the album, lover means to you in this album what? Other than vaping.
I don't vape.
Okay.
I've never done
I know
it.
you don't.
Okay, so I think that with this album, the word lover encompasses like someone who possesses the ability to make you feel all the ranges of emotion that you have, you know? Because when people say like, oh, you know, we just don't have that spark, what they're talking about that's missing is the element that I'm singing about on this album, if that makes sense to you.
You need a lover, Gandhi.
Oh, please.
She doesn't
Stop
need
that.
anything.
She does it. She's got a great boyfriend. We love her.
Thanks.
Anyway, I got to say, it's been such a pleasure to have you here to talk about this whole spectrum of different things, from the music business to shoes to this incredible album and your tour, your sound, and, you know, without looking at her, I'm going to say it to you guys, the happiness on her face.
Yes.
I think you know that a lot of people's lives have been changed as of midnight last night when Lover came out, and we thank you for coming up here. Thank you so much.
It's so great talking to you. Thank
Taylor
you.
Swift and Lover.
Hi, how are you?
I'm really good.
Thank you for letting us into your luxury home.
Oh,
This
just tell
is-
them about the luxury
This is
home.
beautiful. We are backstage at Britain's Got Talent.
We're in a trailer.
We're in a trailer. But it did feel a little bit like your house, because usually when you go and interview like a pop star, there's like a million people there. But I knocked on your dressing room door, and you were just
just
in
me.
just you with a cup of tea, like, hiya.
Yeah, that's usually it. Just
Come in.
by myself
Hi.
in the trailer.
It did feel like it is like your home a little bit in here, with like wall lights and a...
Just because we don't have like 4 people in the corner on their Blackberries not serving a purpose.
Can somebody go on their BlackBerry, please?
Somebody go
and
sit over
intimidate
there.
me.
Someone come show me some jewelry.
Yeah.
I will tell you yes or no, and then I will say, come back, more diamonds.
Yes, that's what I want to happen, more pop star things. But are you good? Are you alright? I've not seen you since you came on the show ages ago.
I know, it's
When
been
was
a
that?
while.
October or something?
It's been a long time,
A long
like 8 or
time.
9 months. Like,
Yeah.
really good. Things are good right now.
We've moved buildings and everything since the last time you were in. That's how much has changed, Taylor. You don't even know this.
Oh my
I
god.
know.
Why didn't you send me a note and
No,
tell me or
did you
something?
not get my new address
Where was
card?
I supposed to show up
Did you not
next
get my
time?
new address card?
No.
I said Nikki's moving home. And I sent it to you. Taylor Swift, America. Send. And so you've been incredibly busy. I follow you on Instagram.
You do?
And I follow you on... maybe I follow you on Twitter.
On Twitter,
You sync it to your Instagram.
I always forget to Instagram because I have my Instagram account password on my old phone and I can't remember it.
But
so
I don't follow you on Instagram then, that's a lie. But I do follow you on Twitter and I always see pictures of your tour. And you've been doing that in America for it seems like for me forever. How was it for you?
We started the tour in March, so it's been kind of just going non-stop since then, and it's been amazing because it's been a stadium tour, which makes me really happy.
Does it make you nervous? Because the crowds look terrifying. Like, I've seen big crowds before, but there was one I think you did it in Dallas.
Yeah.
Where it looked insane,
It
the
was
picture.
sick. It was crazy because you look out into a stadium like that. He brought a dog with him.
Sorry, my dog just crawled across Taylor Swift.
It's okay.
I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
I'm very sorry.
Well, the stadium in Dallas, you look out and it's just this endless sea of people.
Yes.
It's like, and they have this giant screen from, it's like 500 million yards long. And, you know, you don't get nervous when you're playing a stadium because if people have bought tickets to see you, you're sort of like, okay, well, maybe they don't want to see me trip and fall.
Yeah.
My nerves go up extensively if I feel like there's a large percentage of the people watching that really do want to see me trip and fall.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
So
if it's an award show,
Yes.
you know it.
Yeah,
Like,
because I had to DJ recently, and I didn't know I had to do it, and I had to DJ at Radio 1's Big Weekend before Bruno Mars. So it's like, no one's here to see me. Everyone's here to see Bruno Mars. Do you get that when you're at an award show? Because I did watch like the billboards and stuff, and I saw everyone performing. I thought it must be quite scary to perform when it's not fans. What's it like having to perform at like the billboards in front of like all your peers, like everyone good at making pop songs? It's like, hi Taylor.
Yeah, well that one was actually really fun because we started out in the back of the arena and I was like riding a bike through the aisles. I'm like high-fiving people, and it just kind of became more of a party, and everybody was standing up and dancing the whole time, so it looked more like a normal group of fans. If you squint your eyes really close, you can like not see that it's like multi-platinum selling artists out there. But yeah, it was really fun, and I loved that night. It was a really fun night.
You always get up and dance at those things, I've noticed.
I do,
Which I think is really good, and you sing along.
Thank you.
'Cause I like it when people are fans of... I think that's great. Like, do you know Jessie Ware? Do you know her, that British singer?
I love her.
Oh, good, okay.
Yeah.
She's always like, right, which pop stars can we go and see right now at this festival? Like, I love that she's a fan of, you know, of pop stars, and I always see that in you. You're always, like, up and singing, and sometimes they, like, cut to someone, and they're like, I'm so bored. I like that you look like you're always having fun at those things.
You gotta have fun with it. I think, you know, it can either be like a high-pressure career situation, or it can be a dance party.
Yeah.
And you find someone fun, and you sit and you, like, move them next to you, and you dance with them.
Yeah, can I swap you for you, please? Who's, like, the most fun person, do you think, that's a pop star that we'd know? Who's not necessarily, like, a friend, or maybe they are a friend, but, like, oh, they're really fun.
Well, my friends Selena and Ed are the most fun.
Yes, they're the most fun.
They're the most fun. Ed doesn't really dance.
Yes.
He'll like rock back and forth maybe a little bit.
Hands in pockets, I reckon, Ed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really feeling
But like me and Selena are just going all out.
Going hard.
Like, yeah, really.
We spoke about you actually when Selena came on the show. She came on like 2 weeks ago or something. I never met her before, and I never interviewed her. I loved her. I'm obsessed with her now.
She's darling.
She's great, isn't she? And she was jet lagged so bad, and she was super poorly.
She's like melting.
She was like really bad. Like when the song went on, she was like. But on air she was like, I'm really trying. She was really good.
God.
But we spoke about you. She said that you're a nice pal for her. She said that you give her nice advice.
A
and
nice
things.
pal? Yeah. I mean, we talk all the time.
Yeah.
We have so much, just so many things we've been through together because we started being friends. We became friends when she was 16 and I was 18, so like 5 years ago. And in those 5 years, so many things have happened, and that kind of bonds you in a way that nothing can really tear apart. You know?
Yeah. Okay, that was part one of our chat. We'll have more after this. This is Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran together on Radio 1.
This morning when I woke up
anything really about it. I knew Ed Sheeran was because I've watched, you know, I'm aware of popular culture. And he came in and he was one of those guests that, go me. And he came on and he was like one of those guests that I didn't want to go, and he stayed for like over an hour.
Oh, he'll do that.
And my producer was like, we need to move on, there's another guest. But I thought he's so comforting and nice to be around.
That's one of the best things about him is he loves hanging out with different people.
Yeah.
He's always like, he just makes everyone feel like he's got time to listen to you and got time for you to talk to you. He's also kind of an amazing combination of like an 8-year-old who plays with Legos and an 80-year-old who gives really good wise advice at the same time.
He is that.
It's a strange juxtaposition.
He totally is. He's got like wise brain, but also incredibly immature. He's a freak, but a beautiful one. How's it been going on tour with him? Because again, fun, because 8 years old, but then also responsible, because 80.
It's been awesome. We've become such close friends, and he ends up running everything by me. I end up running everything by him. We're always just hanging out in the dressing room, like that sort of thing. Like it's become that sort of like friendship where we just
best friend material.
Yeah, really, actually.
Yeah.
So that's been really good. That's been one of my favorite things about the tour.
Yeah. What do you do on your downtime? Is there downtime when you're on tour? Do you just sleep, or do you get to party, or what do you do?
Well, I've been touring for a while, so you get used to like, you have a few years where you've done too many shows, and all of a sudden you start to manage your schedule better, where you're like, whoa, maybe 250 shows a year is a little much. Maybe we'll pare it back. Maybe we'll do 2 shows and then 3 days off, 2 shows, 3 days off, so that you get to have some semblance of a life, even if that life is like, people usually say that when they have like a family and like a significant other and kids.
Just in the trailer alone.
It's like baking and like painting presents for my friend's birthday by myself still. But I do that. So at least I have time for that.
You need to have time to do normal things.
Collages, arts and crafts.
Yeah, and so you have to perform tonight. Now you have to perform tonight in front of a big crowd. There's a lot of talented people here. It's Britain's Got Talent. There's also going to be the judges. Now they're not going to judge you, but what's it like performing in front of Simon Cowell, who everyone in the world seems to be terrified of?
Is he going to be sitting there like looking at me?
Absolutely. Staring right at you.
I've done that once before. On X Factor, he was sitting there. And he sort of smiled.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, I think that's good. That's definitely a good thing.
That's like a standing ovation for a normal person.
And he's always been really nice. So who else is it?
Simon Cowell, David Walliams, Amanda Holden is on it, and Alicia Dixon is on it. So you have 2 men, 2 women. But I think they're all nice. The one to be scared of is Simon.
We'll all be best friends.
You'll be best friends. You'll all be best friends by the end of it.
And plus I'm not up there alone.
No. Ed's going to be there. What's it like performing with him? Have you been able to do that yet? Is it the first time on the telly? Or?
It's the first time on television. We perform together every night on tour.
Yes.
On a giant lifted spinning platform.
For some reason I thought you were going to say clam then. I read from the way that your hand did.
Oh my God, that is such a better idea.
You could open and you could be the pearls inside. Yeah.
He would love that idea.
That should happen.
That would happen just as soon as him wearing a tux would happen.
Yeah, it's probably.
Although I did see him at the beach the other day, raid my brother's wardrobe, and he wore a really preppy outfit with a sweater tied around his shoulders.
That's what Ed Sheeran wears at the beach. He goes preppy.
I think he was doing it ironically. I know he was doing it ironically. He had an ascot on.
Oh wow, how dare he mock your culture, yes.
Yeah.
And I actually dreamt once about one of your, this is nothing to do with anything, but I should probably tell you, I had a dream once about your song Trouble, which I loved and still love, and we play it pretty much every day on the radio.
Thanks.
When it ends, I say, that's the best song ever, apart from Call Me Maybe.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's a good number 2.
Very much.
And I say, every time we play Call Me Maybe, I say, the best song ever. And I get so much hatred for saying that every day, because people are like, are you mad? And I'm like, better than Queen, better than the Rolling Stones, Colin Jackson. But I dreamt about Trouble, and I've got a real good pitch for you. Trouble for a performance and award ceremony.
Okay.
Here's your idea, see if you like this. I'm going to art direct this to you. You start, lay on the floor.
Okay.
Camera above you. But we do it as if you're stood up, so when the people are watching on the telly, you're stood up.
Cool.
And then it cuts to lying on the cold hard ground. Oh, she's laying on the ground.
That's a really good idea.
I dreamt that. Isn't that a weird dream that I dream about your live stage performances?
I thought that it was going to be something not usable.
No, it was a...
But like the clam idea that you just had.
Yes, like the clam.
But that's an actual idea.
Yeah.
That's actually really good. Works with the lyric. I see what you were doing.
It's quick, it's witty, smart.
Yeah.
So you're going to do it with Ed tonight, you're going to perform with Ed later on. What will you and Ed be like before you go on? Will you get nervous? Do you give words to each other? No, you're good best friends?
Yeah. No, we don't. I mean, we don't like believe in yourself, Ed. You believe in yourself too, Taylor.
Do you do like one of those things like Taylor, Ed, go?
No, we do have a handshake though.
Okay,
it's ridiculous.
what's the handshake?
It started on the video set for everything has changed.
Yes.
And our little mini-me's in the video,
Yeah.
there are little 6-year-olds playing little
Yeah.
versions of us. And the little redhead boy walks over to the little blonde-haired girl and does this handshake, and he goes, 5, 4, 3,
Oh my God, it's so hard.
2, 1,
I did it.
and then he goes, blast!
I
Yeah,
like that.
it was adorable.
I did it the wrong way.
It's okay. I didn't teach it to you first.
That's true.
I just threw you into it.
You just threw me into that.
Yeah.
It was so
No
embarrassed
life
me on the
vest.
radio. It's on the radio. No one can see what we're doing.
Yeah, nobody knows.
No one can see what we're doing right now. It's so crazy.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah. And Taylor, it's lovely to see you. Thanks for having us in your
Great to see
trailer.
you. Oh, anytime.
Yeah.
Trailer door's always open. Standing in here alone with a cup of tea, being awesome.
It's lovely to see you. Good luck tonight.
Oh, thank
Have fun,
you.
and then come and see us on the radio, please, when you come back
I
next
will.
time.
Send me the new address, please.
Okay.
Just Taylor Swift, America.
America.
That'll get to me.